straight up and down, like you're square. Like if you don't know about Hooli, like you're square. Like yeah, I was bad, like terrible,
right?
Like absolutely shit. Like, with another student, and I killed him. I've influenced the best of them, and I know I've influenced some of your favorite artists as well. I'm the culture, B. Like, just check my resume, fam.
Before we get into it, if you like what this channel is about, hit that subscribe button, click on the bell to receive the notifications, spread the word, share our content, and get involved in the comment section below. It takes a certain attitude in an artist to take things to levels not everybody can reach. Today, we have someone who has the confidence, the presentation, the self-belief, the skill, the hunger, and the passion to make a big difference. I'd like to welcome to the 521 Sofa Chat an artist the world really needs to know about, the visionary that is the FLYY HOOLIGAN.
Yes,
bro, how are you doing?
I'm great, legend. How are you, man?
Excellent. I'm good, bro. Thank you so much for coming in.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Basically, before we even get into it, right, what I want to do is let people know about you rather than your recordings. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I feel like everyone gets to talk about the recordings, but I feel people need to know about the artist more. So I want to start with the obvious questions, which is basically your upbringing, where you come from, and how that influenced you to the life that you're living now.
My origins start back in Africa. Came over to England at a very young age, and my love for music started back in Africa. My older sister is a gospel singer. I always used to hear classical music or gospel at home, so that's where my musical influences really started. My first experience with hip hop was back in Africa as well when Colours came out. No, it's actually over here. I heard the song in the movie and stuff, very atmospheric and all that. So that was my first real experience of hip hop. And I was so taken up by that, you know. As a little child, you hear Colours with that synth, that heavy synth. It was quite intimidating and scary, and seeing what Colours was about, that film, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was very atmospheric, it was scary, it was intimidating, it was all of that stuff. But it pulled me in, man, you know what I mean? And pretty much stuck on it ever since.
If I was to say, pick a specific point where you got into music and it was a specific path that led you there, what would that be?
Wu-Tang, all day, every day. My first experience, my cousin came back from New York, and he gave me this Wu-Tang demo tape, and he had this Wu-Tang waistcoat as well. And that was it. Like, that's how I really got started. And what made me, what really got me into writing, I was doing a lot of talent shows. I was going into talent shows and performing Wu-Tang songs. And I was known as the Wu-Tang Kid for a while. And at school, I got into this Wu battle with another student. And I killed him. Like, everyone crowded around us, everyone was going nuts, but I killed him with this Raekwon lyric from Wu-Tang Forever. I want to say it was probably Pound Still Rule, but yeah. Anyway, it was a Ray lyric, and I killed this dude. But then afterwards, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, you should write your own stuff." You know what I'm saying? Because you're dope at what you're doing, and you've got a lot of potential. And him and another guy who had a group already formed, they gave me my first dictionary, my first rhyming dictionary. And that's it, man. That's how I started.
Did you feel kind of like you were doing something unique, something special that not everyone else was doing?
Yeah, I did. Because they all knew who Wu-Tang was, innit? But they didn't know, the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, wow, this guy is the Wu-Tang Kid because he knows all their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. And I did feel yo, you know what? I just remembered in primary school as well, I flipping performed crisscross jump. It's wow, that's incredible. First time I ever remembering this. Crisscross jump. And I did it twice. The first time I did it, the whole school just ran after me. I was like a superstar for 15 seconds.
Did you wear the dungarees?
That's crazy. You know, I would like to say yes, but I don't think I did that. I don't think I did it because my dad would have been pissed off with that shit. You know what I mean? So, I don't think I went that far. I did the dungarees. I did the varsity jacket. You know what I mean? But I didn't go that far as to turn it back to. I did the Ewings. That shit got me into Ewings hard. Like, I was blessed, 100%, man. I had some amazing parents, man.
Yeah, that's wicked to know.
Rest in peace.
Because so many people in music like come from sort of bad situations.
Yes, sir.
So for you to say that you come from a blessed situation, that's really good.
But even how I ended up in England was from a bad situation. It was from a very bad situation, which I don't want to go into. But you know, every cloud has a silver lining, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds to me like from the conversations we've had recently, you're creating your own silver linings as well. So
I have to. We don't take no for an answer.
what was it like growing up though? I mean, was it easy? Were you surrounded by problem areas, things that specifically led you to making music, or could you have gone different paths? You know, was there something specific in your childhood that kind of said like, this is it, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so the first place I ever moved to, or I ever lived in when I came to London was Neasden. You know, and that area was quite notorious. You know what I mean? You had Press Road Estate, you had Church Road Estate, and then you had Chalk Hill, where Spice from Brotherhood is from as well. You know, so yeah, it was pretty deep. Like, you had North Wembley too. Like, so you were just surrounded by it all. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had certain situations presented to me and stuff like that. But again, thankfully, you know, I was blessed. Like, people could see the talent and my passion for music and art. I used to draw a lot as well when I was younger. So, you know, the elders, I like to call them, my OGs, like they always like protected me and always told me to, like, you know, keep my focus on the arts.
So did you pursue anything with the art?
Yeah, no, I didn't really pursue the drawing because I felt it was kind of like a dead end scenario. My art and design teacher didn't particularly like me. So, you know, he tried to make life difficult for me until I strung him up on the wall one day. I just had enough, like, you know, racism is a bitch.
Oh, shit.
I mean? So, yeah, like, so, and the way my father brought me up, like, you know, you deal fire with fire. I've seen him knock 4 people out over racism. I've seen him slap a police officer across the face for being racist. You know, so
and it's needed.
That's yeah. Sometimes it is needed. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Like, those who don't know, you know, those who feels it knows it. You know what I mean. So until they feel it, they don't know. You get me. So then you gotta let them feel it. So that's how I was taught to deal with racism, and then they had to string man up on the wall, blood. Like, you know what I mean. So yeah, that was, and I really wanted to get into architecture and all that stuff there, like architectural design and stuff. And I was pretty bad at maths as well.
Bad
so,
as in good?
Nah,
good meaning
no,
bad as in terrible?
As in terrible.
So not Run DMC bad?
No, not Run DMC. Not hip hop bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I was bad, like terrible.
Right.
Like, absolutely shit. I tried to go college with it as well. I just couldn't concentrate at that point. Now I was too much into music at that point.
When you were talking about your dad's situation and like slapping up a policeman and all that, it's like when we were growing up, it's like we were almost taught to fear the uniform. But as we grew up, we just realized the uniform is just a piece of clothing. It means nothing. Absolutely. Really. You know, so what's your take on that?
I agree with you, you know, but what a lot of people don't know is my father, you know, my late father, he was Lebanese, but he looked like a cross between Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? Bright blue, piercing blue eyes and slick hair, you know what I mean? Comb back and all of that. So, you know, he knew he had white privilege and he used it to the fullest, especially when it came to the police, you know what I mean? So that was my first encounter as well with that kind of thing. And, you know, he also taught me, like, it doesn't matter who it is. He's knocked out his cousins before, like, you know what I'm saying, for them kind of things there. So, you know, I've always been taught, like, don't tolerate that shit, regardless, whatever it is, don't matter how many of them there are.
Do you feel that hip-hop has also kind of taught us that?
Absolutely, but that's why I related to hip-hop.
Your recording career, your beginnings, I know that we've had conversations and you don't really want to talk about the groups you were in, but what I'm trying to, like, get here is that you have a big history. Like, you know, you've done a lot of recordings with a lot of people. So do you want to, without mentioning any names and whatever, do you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about your history?
From the day I started writing rhymes, I was in a 7-man crew. I've been in a 40-man crew before, where at least 25 of them are MCs as well, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've worked with a lot of people. I've been the producer, I've been the engineer, I've been the director, I've been the stylist, I've been all of it, you know what I'm saying? And I always knew in the back of my mind, all you're doing is character building. This is all character building. This is all like, it's like, you know, that game Golden Axe where you're acquiring weaponries and skills and, you know, magic and stuff like that. Like, so it's like, that's how I kind of looked at it. That's how I felt about all those experiences. And yeah, I've worked with a lot of people over the years until, you know, I felt it was time that I really started focusing on myself and stop, you know, trying to help other MCs or groups or whatever look and sound a certain way. And yeah, just, you know, just take it as far as I can take it.
Sometimes, like when I look at like the past, I personally look at it like what I did then that was so important to me wasn't really my mission in life. It was building me up for what my mission in life is. So it sounds to me like you feel the same.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't know then, but because I just don't think I was articulate enough to know that. But now I am articulate enough to know that every situation is character building to who you potentially are supposed to be, you know. And at first I would be very frustrated. Why is this guy a whacker MC than me and he's just zooping past, man? Like, how is this even possible? But, you know, in my progression, I learned that that's not my journey, that's not my lane, that's not my road, that's not my car. Like, so I'm in my own, in my own lane, you know what I mean? So
the step is to create your own lane.
Yeah, man. That's it. I had to go I had to go Wix. I had to pick up all the tools. You know what I mean? I had to teach myself how to dig, how to lay foundation.
And that's an important lesson for anyone who's getting into it early. Even though I think a lot of the youngsters are a lot more advanced than we were when we were doing what we were doing, because they've got so many reference points we didn't have.
I don't know about everyone, but I know about myself. And I come from a bloodline, a family of hard workers. People who are not afraid of hard work. People who turn no into yes. Not everyone is necessarily built for the disappointments or even the positives. You know what I'm saying? Something amazing can happen to you and you just don't know how to handle it because you're not mentally, physically ready for it. And then you just fuck it up and then you're a nobody.
I feel it's more dangerous to be in a good position and fuck it up.
Especially when you're not ready for it.
Yeah, because you're not going to get another opportunity when people see your fuck up.
Exactly.
Whereas when you're a nobody, you could fuck up a million times.
A million times. You can learn from those mistakes. Yeah. You know, you can learn from those bad choices. You know, you can learn from those letdowns. Or someone shuts the door and I learned how to build the door myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm on the 2nd floor now.
How many floors you got to go?
Oh man, I got a lot of floors. I got a lot of floors to go, man.
So we're looking even bigger than tower blocks. We're looking Dubai height.
We're looking Dubai height, man.
Okay.
Inshallah, and God willing, man. You know what I mean? We're looking Dubai heights, bro.
Yeah, that's good. So assume somebody came along and they said to you, look, here's £1 million. Assuming that you wanted the deal, right? Here's £1 million. I want to sign you, but I'm not going to sign you until I'm happy with your answer for your love for music. What would you tell them to get that deal? Your love for music.
I don't want the deal.
I was hoping you would say that.
I've done it before though. You're talking to someone who's been there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just because I ain't got 80 billion followers and all that kind of stuff, it probably happens to so many. There's people I know who's happened to, you know what I'm saying? And they've refused it too. So, you know, A alike, B alike, C alike. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want to look into the camera and explain the depth of that?
Know your worth. Simple as that.
Tell us a little bit about your influences. I mean, some of it is pretty obvious in what you do, but I want to hear it from you. What are your influences? And maybe on a couple of them, tell us why.
Rizza's one of my most major influences.
As a rapper or producer?
As a man, You know what I'm saying? How he's conducted business over the years. Like everyone else, there's good and bad, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Some people have good stories, some people may have bad. I don't care about that. What I care about is the value he taught me about at such a young age. You know, there used to be that advert, give a man a fish he eats for the day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that shit. RZA could have given me a beat, but he didn't give me a beat. He gave me
Gave you the knowledge on how to.
knowledge on how to make a beat.
Tell us about that.
2001, Militia Street Squad. About 40 of us. We were doing the street team with for Koch and the Digital Bullet album, and met RZA when he was doing his interview with Tim Westwood. Kicked it for a few minutes. Then we all went to Subterranean Elaborate Grove, and we got to talking. The homie Menace. Salute to Menace. He introduces me to RZA. He's like, yo, RZA, this is Iron Braids. And RZA looks at me like the movie, right? I'm like, what movie? There's a kung fu film, and that's another, his knowledge in arts.
Mad, isn't it?
His knowledge in arts is just, you know what I'm saying, it's almost endless. So yeah, that's where the dialect started, you know what I mean? And then eventually we went on stage because he was about to start rehearsing, and then the legendary DJ Pogo comes on stage with his MPC 2000 XL, puts it on this podium thing, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I didn't know nothing about that. Literally, I had no idea about 808s, drums, like the drum machine, SP1200, SP12. I had no idea about that stuff. Akai, I had no idea. You know, all I knew is like, this is 16 bars, this is 24 bars, this is 32 bars. Literally, that was my world for a long time. Then RZA explains to me like this is what made every classic album you can think of. I made Only Built for Cuban Links on this. Because in our conversation, he knew how much I liked Ray and Ghost. Like, those are my all-time, Ray, Ghost and Nas, my all-time favorites. And he was like, yeah, I did that album on this thing, like, you know what I mean? I was like, what? So then he starts showing me how he programmed, very, very, very briefly, may I add. Like, he showed me how he programmed and sequenced, I want to say was it Ice Cream? I think it was Ice Cream. I can't remember, man. But yeah, it was one of them. I think it was Ice Cream, you know, because that beat is just one of the greatest beats of all time. Yeah. And I would forget if you know what I mean, if it was any Ice Cream and Incarcerated Scarfaces, if I may add. So anyway, yeah, he shows me that now, and then I was just blown. Ever since then, like right after that moment, I said, all right, I want to learn how to make beats. I want to learn how to get myself to an MPC, whether it's a 2000 XL or a 3000, because Jay Dilla used the 3000, and that was his favorite. And I was an avid listener to Jay Dilla at that point as well. So yeah, I manifested that, you know, and I got myself in a youth club, Avenues Youth Club, when it was in Stowe, in Royal Oak. And yeah, man, taught myself how to make beats and engineer as well. And I went on to sell a lot of beats to people, stuff like that. So, you know, that's why RZA's one of my biggest ever influences. His brain and his, you know, his plan on how to bring people together and then present them with this idea. And he made them all stars, you know, he made them wealthy people. And that was something I always wanted to emulate in my life. I found it to be such an honorable thing that one man could do that.
That was around the time he was working on that The World According to RZA album, and he was in London.
Yeah,
because
right.
Westwood brought him to the studio to meet me, Skinny, Tibbs.
Yeah.
So that's mad that we pretty much crossed paths.
Absolutely.
But never met till now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Funny you mentioned Skinny Man. I you know, when I was a youth, like Skinny Man called me. Like he called me out from early. Like he was like, yeah, you're gonna do something different in this hip hop thing. You know what I'm saying? He's always, you know, been in the shadows championing me, you know what I mean? So, you know, big salute to Skinny Man. Like,
he's a very alert, astute kind of guy, isn't he?
He is.
So
Absolutely.
he knows what's going on, and he's always been sort of tapped in, hasn't he?
Yeah, finger on the pulse, as
Yeah,
they say,
all the
you know what I
time,
mean?
man. And I feel he deserves so much more than he's got.
He's gonna
You
get
know
it,
what I mean?
man. He's
And
gonna
I
get
hope he gets it because, like, when I look at like the people in America and they do one single and they've got their mansions and whatever, and then someone like Skinny's doing an amazing album like Counselor State of Mind, but so many singles, like with everybody, the collaborations, everything he does is just hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? It's like, how much work do we have to do in the UK to match what one single in America does?
Yeah, it's a shame. It's actually quite embarrassing that, you know, two very talented people would have to leave England and get the world to believe they're from America for England to like them. It's crazy.
Do you want to say who you're talking about there?
Flowetry. I'm not afraid to say it. What? Like, Flowetry, man. I used to watch them perform as a youth, like for nothing, for pennies, practically. No, it was free of charge. It was in Ladbroke Grove in a place called Tabernacle. And I always remembered Marsha Ambrosia's name because I thought her voice was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Little schoolboy crush as well. And they just disappeared for a hot minute, you know? And one day they turn up, hot new single, and killing it. Everyone's thinking they're from Philly or something, you know what I mean? We're like, nah, like, they're from out here, fam. Like, they're our neighbors, like, you know what I mean? And then, obviously, them days, there weren't no internet or nothing, so the news didn't travel fast enough, you know? But people saw that and then they gravitated to them. Marsha Ambrosia went on to write one of Michael Jackson's greatest fucking singles in his whole catalogue, you know what I mean? And that's incredible, man. You know, just the fact, I don't know how that situation came about, but I strongly, you know, believe that there was a lot of self-belief in that move.
What's it feel like to get endorsed by the likes of Marley Marl and Sean Price and Guilty Simpson and a whole list of others?
It feels incredible, man. You know, it feels incredible. It's sort of bittersweet, you know, because you think to yourself, wow, like, you're here in London, the people that idolize those people are showing me mad love, but then, you know, you're pretending I don't exist. You know what I'm saying? It's bittersweet. I'm not mad at it. I never have been mad at it. But, you know, it's a shame, but at the same, like, but dealing with it on a more positive level is like, shh, mama, I made it. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. Like, you know, it's humbling. And again, it's confirmation that, yo, you're ill, like whatever you do, you're ill. Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, they're losing out. They're the squares, like they're straight up and down, like you're square. Like if you don't know about Hooli, like you're square, like that's it. Cause yeah, man, cause I'm ill like that.
And that leads on to my next thing, which is basically when we speak sometimes. You mentioned that you are hip hop, you are the culture.
Because I am.
And right, so what I was going to say to a lot of people, that's going to seem like arrogance. Now, to me, that's confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, explain why you use that statement, and to all those people who don't believe, what are you got to say to them?
I'm the culture, B. Like, just check my resume, fam. Like, Google the name, The Fly Hooligan, DAFLYY. Hooligan, correct spelling. If you don't know how to spell it, it's HOOLIGAN, The Fly Hooligan, or Iron Braids.
Or just
go see the people I've worked with, man. Like even signed artists, people with big budgets, like that. What Blade was talking about, they haven't even achieved half the things I've achieved. I've influenced the best of them, and I know I've influenced some of your favorite artists as well. And it's not me making it up. It's not arrogance. It's confidence. I don't even need to explain that to you. You know, most likely you're an adult watching this. So, you know, if we're gonna sit here and discuss self-belief, you shouldn't have a problem with what I'm saying.
What is art to you?
Art is everything. It's a breath of fresh air. It's an outlet. It's a way of meeting new people. It's an amazing way of learning about oneself, because when you look back at stuff, you will notice that there are different stages in life, and there are different versions of you as you go through life. When I was, you know, mad young, I wasn't into fine art. Now, that's all I ever look at. It's therapeutic, you know, like I said, it's that person you can have a conversation with and she'll just listen to you. you know what I mean? And then eventually give you your answers when the time is right.
And maybe reward you even more. So,
Yeah,
you know, if you're lucky enough and you put the work in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which I know you're doing. So,
Yes, I'm glad.
and that's going to become very evident to a lot of you. Just keep watching this space because my man ain't playing. That's it, you know what I mean? So, talking of not playing, you don't play with your wordplay or your lyricism either, do you?
Well, why should I? Why should I? Like, come on, man. There's no such thing as boundaries when it comes to art.
How does it make you feel when you've done something and you know that you've done something that is like no one else has done? And
Accomplished.
yeah.
It makes me feel accomplished. It makes me feel, okay, what's the next one? That's one brick. Let's go make another brick. I'm determined, you know what I mean? I'm so determined. I want to make history, bro. Like, I want to make history. Like, and I want to make history. Like, that's it. So how are you gonna be just content with one dope verse and then that's it, or one good album? You know, you got to put in on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's another reason why I call myself the culture, because I have many forms to myself that contributes to the culture of hip hop at this stage right now. In underground hip hop, I play a very big role, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not some, yeah, man's got a couple bars here and there. Nah, bruv, like, I've put out some of your favorite albums through my platform.
Have you ever thought about giving up?
Who doesn't?
Cameraman hasn't.
Well, he's a G, that's why, you know what I'm saying? But nah, yeah, of course I thought about giving up. Something very interesting happened to me a while ago when I was really gonna pull the plug. I don't particularly want to go into it, but, you know, it's like what Michael Corleone said in Godfather Part 3. Just when I think I was out, they pulled me back in. That's my shit. Like, real talk. I'm gonna have to get that as a tap, bruv. When you think, like, when you know, you work so hard for something, you do everything you can to manifest it and put that out, that information out into the universe so that it can help you achieve it. And sometimes it just feels like no one's listening, no one's watching. But then at that moment where you're about to like pull the plug, you get that phone call like, yo, this person's looking for you. This person needs to talk to you. Can I please give them your number? All right, who is it? Like, whoa, okay. All right, cool, give them my number. Then they get on the phone and they're telling you about your career, the things you've done, you know. And it's not, you know, the magnitude, what they've done for the hip hop culture alone, like, they are literally the blueprint of everything, everything, you know what I'm saying? And they're telling you that they're learning from you. Like, wow, how can one give up after that?
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking insult, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this thing, bro. Blood in, blood out. I've been stabbed and I've still gone to do a show that same fucking day. You want to get real? Let's get real then, innit? I've done that. The day I lost my mother, I went to go do a show. The day I lost my father, I went to go do a show. I recorded albums and shot music videos. I'm talking about 8 to 10 music videos in the time my mother was passing away, like in the time my mother was dying from cancer. You know what I'm saying? I was doing things, I was recording, making beats, showing other rappers how to rap over a beat, booking recording sessions whilst my father was dying, whilst I was looking after him. I looked after both of my parents while they were dying. But I'm like that catalytic converter, bruv. Like, I turned that negative shit into drive. I'm not gonna let that situation purchase me like that. I'm too expensive, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just that raggoness, like that tough love that I learned from Road, you know what I'm saying? And I took that and I just applied it to my way of thinking in life. I don't have to put hands on no one like that, you know what I'm saying? I'll just show them another way. We play chess over here, bro. It's not checkers, man, you know what I mean?
There are so many artists out there that go through these things and, you know, somehow they manage to always bounce back. Even if you don't see them like in the forefront, they're doing something in the background. Yeah. They're doing something in the background. And you won't see them for 15 years, but they'll reappear. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll be shocked at the things they have done.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because you don't know about it or Daily Telegraph ain't chatting about it, don't mean that it's not happening.
The transformation from iron braids to who you are now, the Fly Hooligan. Explain how that came about, why that came about.
It came about because I felt I boxed myself in with iron braids. I had a conversation with Sean Price. May he rest in peace. What a fucking legend he was, man. What a legend he is, as the correction, yeah. We had this conversation about reinventing oneself, you know, because he went by Ruckus or Tor Sean back in the day, like, you know, with Helter Skelter. And, you know, we had a very deep conversation about what his turning point was, what the catalyst was in that situation. And we talked about our parents and stuff like that as well. We talked about Islam and all that too. And then once we got on that subject, he was very open with the information he shared with me. And he basically looked me in the eyes and said, bro, like, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? And he said that he got the right one that day. You know what I'm saying? He got the right one. It's like, it's true. Like, I don't give a fuck about working hard. I work hard all my life. I worked hard all my life. You know what I'm saying? So what's this? If they don't know me, like, or if it's going to take a while for them to realize it's me, or if they don't like the new stuff, that's fine, man. It's a small world with a shitload of people in it. I'll find new fans. You know what I mean? It's no problem. So that was me, man. That's where it all started. And the transition was between that point up until I joined one last group. I presented the idea that I had to them, the idea that I have now, that I'm living out now. I presented it to them, and they didn't really go for it, and that was fine. It was like, all right, more for me then, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I ended up leaving the group, and I took a bit of time to really figure out how I'm gonna start, and here we are.
And in terms of personalities, what is the difference between the two characters, Iron Braids and the Fly Hooligan?
He was miserable. Iron Braids was miserable, man. And yeah, I felt it was miserable. I felt boxed in, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm on some larger than life shit, man. I'm on some appreciating art, appreciating music, appreciating the culture, appreciating my family, my loved ones, appreciating people like yourself, appreciating the legends, appreciating the people that have shitted on me, you know what I'm saying? Just appreciating life and knowing how to make the best out of any given situation, and doing things that make people think like, shit, why didn't I think of that? One thing I could tell you is I've got a very beautiful fuck it button, and I press it quite a lot. You know what I mean?
I wanted to talk about that fucking button. Where do I buy one?
Where do you buy one? You got to build it yourself, bro.
Oh, man.
You can't buy one, man. Sorry, these things don't. These things are very expensive,
I
man.
reckon that's a good merchandising strategy right there. Create a fucking button.
Create a fuck it button,
yeah, and
bro.
sell it. I'll buy one.
Yeah, man.
£65 a piece. Why not?
Yo, it's so hard to develop one, man, because, you know,
how about me and you join our partnership and we create it?
Well, yeah, man, as long as I get 60%, man, I'm good.
You know what, I'm cool with that.
Let's do it, man, let's do it.
All right, everybody, look out for the fucking button coming soon.
Fucking button coming to an area near
you. You've got a few albums out there, of which I've heard bits and pieces of some of them. I've heard quite a bit from the Iron Braid stuff, but the recent stuff, the bits that I've heard is of Ray Winston. I've heard Ben Kingsley, and I've heard Scum. Now, the thing is, Ray Winston and Scum, there's a connection there, which I think a lot of the youngsters probably won't even realize, because Ray Winston was in Scum.
Yeah, that was his like cameo thing, wasn't it?
Right, that's right.
Because he was a semi-pro boxer, and he got in Scum, basically. It was a series on BBC One. But yeah, that got cancelled, and then they did a movie instead. You know, I'm a big, supporter of Ray Winston's work. Like, I really like Ray Winston's work, you know what I mean? And that's where the idea for the name, The Fly Hooligan, even came about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was watching, I want to say 44 Inch Chest or The Bouncer, one or the other. And I was just watching it, I thought, I said it out loud to myself. I talk to myself quite often still. I talk to myself a lot, out loud or, you know, silently. But like, I said, yeah, this guy's a fly hooligan, you know. Like, literally, 'cause this guy, he's fucking slick with it. But he will fuck a man up, bruv. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So it wasn't like it was a line or anything that they said. It was just when you were watching
No, ain't no one said that line ever,
right,
bruv.
right.
That there's no one that, like, bruv, I've scanned.
The fly
I've
hooligan.
scanned for the fly hooligan.
And then you added the extra Y just to make sure that you got
just to make sure, like, if even now, like, there's a lot of dudes out there now rolling with that double Y business in their name, and now, so boy, you know, I set trends, and I'm not mad at that. Like, thank you, you're helping me make history right here.
Oh, bro.
So it's all good, man. I appreciate you.
The birth of Gourmet Deluxe. Tell us about it.
Oh, Jesus, I was fed up, man. I was kind of shopping Scum, the album, to a few labels and stuff. And what had happened was I sat down and I had a sit down with the Purist, who owns Dope Media, and we talked about Scum, we talked about my vision for the future, what I'm gonna achieve. We talked about Westside Gun and what we believe he's gonna do in the future, and we called it word for word.
Yeah, and it happened.
Everything he's done, we called it, like, and he presented two things to me. He said, you can either release your album through Dope, and you only get 50% of what we make out of the album, or you do your own thing and you get 100%. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick with 100%. I don't care how hard I've got to work for it.
Did at any point it occur to you that maybe the 50% would earn you more than the 100% because of connections that he may have and so on?
Yeah, but so what?
Okay, so you're still happy to...
So what, bro?
Okay.
That's like the £1 million. I could take your million, you know, with the deal, and then go make more connections with that million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, let me do that for myself. Why have I got to jump on someone else's back? Pause.
It takes... What I'm trying to get at is it takes a certain self-belief to just be like, you know what, you could offer me 1%, I'll still do it myself.
Yeah.
So
like,
you could offer me 95%
like,
or whatever, and I'll still do it myself.
No, like, because I've got a vision, and not everyone is gonna see your vision. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Not everyone's gonna see your vision, but you along the way, you know, hopefully people will start to see your vision.
I think they're beginning to. You know what I mean? I just seen your Model 500 video. Bloody hell. Bro. That's on repeat. That's all I can say. That's on repeat.
That.
I have to, and
coming
you
from
know,
a legend such as yourself.
Bro, come on, man. I'll watch when I know something's there. And obviously the connection with Jazz T, I got to see it early on and whatever. Sent me the link straight away, watched it. You know what I mean? And obviously Parky as well. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't praise Parky enough, or Jazz T. You can't praise them enough. They've done so much. What is your main goal for Gourmet Deluxe?
Pushing the culture forward.
Okay.
Showing people that it's about presentation. It's about minimalism as well. You ain't got to do no crazy artwork, you know, for it to grab people's attention. Simple. You know, simplicity. It's a lot quicker as well. Cuts a lot of time in half. You know what I mean? And presentation. You know, the importance of it. You know, you're not gonna go to a Michelin-star restaurant and they're just gonna dash your food on the fucking plate. Like, you're paying top dollar for that shit. You know what I mean? So it's gonna come like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the same approach, you know, I took with Gourmet Deluxe, and because I took that approach. With my business partner at the time, Uncle Tim, he also thinks like me, but his expertise was in the whole graphics side of things as well. So our ideas often matched the vision that we had for each release, and the starting point was when he had this idea for these CDs that we did, where it had the aesthetics of a vinyl. We dubbed them vinyl CDs, VCDs. And that took off instantly. That put us on the map immediately. Big Ghost got in touch with me, and he asked if we can, you know, get into partnership as well, put his stuff out. And, you know, so, and then here we are, man. Here we are.
So you've always been entrepreneurial?
Always. Since the age of 13.
But it goes back to what you were saying about not being afraid of hard work. That's what we do.
That's it, man. So. That's it. Like you said, like, I could have easily taken that 50% from Purist, but then there would be no Gourmet Deluxe.
Not only that, it's like, I'm sure there would have been restrictions on your work as well.
No.
Okay, so it wasn't like
that.
No.
Okay. Dope is never like that. They're never like that. No. He you know, he's Dope. Their motto is quality over quantity. So they're way before Gourmet Deluxe in that sense. You know, they were the first to do the clear vinyl. You know what I'm saying, in the whole hip hop thing. So, you know, it wasn't a thing where like purists would have put boundaries there for me. He would have added to it. He would have been like, yo, like that's ill, but how about this? How about that? Purist is that kind of person. He's a visionary as well. You know what I'm saying? So
it sounds like he pays attention to detail as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Dope and Gourmet Deluxe, for vinyl, he set that precedent a long time ago, eons ago. And then Gourmet Deluxe came along and set the precedent for tapes and CDs, compact discs. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, thankfully, you know, Gourmet Deluxe has been a part of the culture since 2015.
So it's always been about thinking ahead and sort of planning, I don't know, 5 years ahead.
But most importantly, seeing the potholes, man. You got to see them things that no one's paying attention to. It's not a trade secret either.
It's not.
It's what Wu did. You know what I'm saying? It goes right back to Run DMC. Because they saw that no one's really putting any street style into their music. So what did they do? They came with the levers. They came with the trainers, with the Adidas Campers, the shell toes.
Yeah.
Come on, it's about seeing the cracks in the paradigm. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Rough House Records, you know what I'm saying? They did the same thing too. Schoolie D, first ever gangster rapper to talk about Nikes, to talk about any kind of fashion, like designer, anything like that, remotely like that in his bars. He saw something that no one else was doing and he did. So this ethos of Gourmet Deluxe is nothing new. It goes right back to the very essence of you know, hip hop, rap, gangster rap, whatever you want to call it.
I'm glad you said about Schoolie because, you know what, everyone kind of keeps thinking that NWA was the first gangster rapper.
Nah,
Schoolie, man, was there.
No way, Jose, blood.
You know, so...
Nah, B.
How important is manifesting your own destiny? Because a lot of people don't understand that. Like, you know, you can keep saying things.
If you don't understand that, you're fucked.
Well, I mean, there's so many people that just sit there being a slave to someone else, getting rich off the back of the work they're putting in. So
I'll tell you a quick story. 2016, I got real sick. I was working for Mercedes-Benz, paid really well. And it was a role that was made specifically for me and a group of other people that got this role. And I remember getting really sick, and the area manager and the area branch manager as well, they didn't give a shit. Like they didn't care what was going on with me. I was real sick. Damn near died, like, you know what I mean? It was that bad. But I remember in that process of healing, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna quit that job and I'm gonna do this thing. And I'm not gonna work for anyone else ever again. Whether I'm broke or not, it's all on me. And I remember going into Mercedes and man sat me down and he's like, well, basically, we might have to let you go. And I was like, well, before you finish,
I'm letting myself go.
Bruv. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I shook his hand. I was so happy. Like, see how I'm smiling now? Like, it's because I can remember that moment. You know what I'm saying? I took my life into my own hands for the first time. Like, really took my life into my own hands. I shook his hands firmly. I was like, you know, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm gone. I gave back the company, the courtesy car, and I was being driven back home. And the guy that was driving me home, he just kept looking at me. He's like, I cannot believe how happy you are. like, why are you so happy? I said, because boy, you know what? I told the universe something yesterday and I already feel like it's emotion.
You got to experience it to understand it.
On God, anything. You bring the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, King James Version, whichever you want, bro. Bring it, come, like, I'll swear on it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And here we are now.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's the importance.
So yeah, you can manifest your own destiny. So for anyone out there who thinks it's not possible, just put yourself through it. You never know.
Give it a test. Say something simple like, I want to buy a car.
And watch it happen.
Find the car that you really want. Do your research and then just start saying it. Oh, I'm going to have this car. Another great story, Jim Carrey. He was driving around these rich neighborhoods. He picked the house he liked. He wrote himself a $10 million check. A year later, he did Liar Liar.
My God. One of my favorite films as well.
Liar Liar. The first check he got for Liar Liar was for $10 million.
Wow, did it.
It's online, bro. Man's lying. I'm not here. I'm not, like, Blade ain't paid me to lie, you know. Until he pays me to lie, I ain't gonna lie.
You know what? We're obviously in a culture where beats are really important. It was part of, you know, the essence of hip hop, the beats and whatever. But
Still is.
It always will be. Yeah. But the reason why I said it that way is because what you done with Gourmet Deluxe is you kind of stripped it back. So it's like, I used to, back in the days, just for freestyling purposes, I'd put on a Beethoven record and I'd just rap to it. Yeah. And, you know, but I'd never put it on vinyl because I never kind of thought of it, do you know what I mean? Because of what we were in. But you're doing all of that.
You fucked up.
Yeah, I did fuck up, bro. I'm telling you. But anyway, what I want to get at is, why did you specifically go that route?
Because I've always loved it. Like I said, I grew up listening to classical music, gospel, Afrobeat, you know, the Fela Kuti or Sibisa type stuff. You know, a lot of percussion was in there as well. But I've always loved other sounds. I love drums, don't get me wrong, but the other sounds always caught my attention. Doing something that's always different to the norm. You know what I mean? And then I heard a lot of like drumless music over the years, but it was always like interspersed in albums. It wasn't always like a whole album. It was like a track or two. So the most obvious one, All I Got Is You by Ghostface Killer. Yeah. Like anyone that has any beef with drumless tracks, like drumless beats, shut the fuck up. Because you love All I Got Is You. Then, yeah, you're going to have it. Yeah, but that's Ghostface. But yeah, but that song's sick though. Man, shut up, man. Like, I'm so fed up with, like, you know, people complaining and stuff. Like, and I say respectfully too, like, you know what I mean? But like, I thought, yeah, like, you know, why not a whole album? But, you know, man like Rock Marcy and Planet Asia, you know, Husk Kingpin, West Side Gun, Conway the Machine, Derringer, Camouflage Monk, you know, them man there made it, even Alchemist, they man there made Evidence, them man there made it more popping, you know what I'm saying? And it was something I decided to really jump on back in 2009 when I self-produced Devil May Cry as Iron Braids, and I thought, like, I did a remix of my single Golden Legacy, and it was drumless. I sampled Vanessa Mae. So, you know, you spoke of classical music. Yeah. I sampled Vanessa Mae, like, and it was just that same loop over and over, like, and I was in love with that song for the longest time, like, and I thought, you know, and then in the process of thinking about reinventing myself, I thought, yeah, that's gonna be my driving point.
You mentioned a whole bunch of names there, right? Now, for me, it's like, I hear so many people who mention names and they're fans of and whatever. But I don't think people realize that it's not just that you're a fan of these people, you move with these people.
I'm a fan of nobody, first and foremost, but...
No, but I'm saying, but the important thing is that you're in regular conversations with these people and they're part of your circle, you're part of their circle, whatever, you keep in touch, and you've done recordings with them, you've supported them on shows, and so this is quite deep. It's like people don't understand what you've done and the kind of people that you look up to, but they look up to you too.
The respect is mutual, I can certainly say that, like, you know, and you just affirmed and confirmed why I am the culture, why I do call myself the culture, because I am a part of it. It's not like I'm some fanboy trying a thing, or I'm some brer. I said it to you on the phone earlier. Like, it's not a thing where like one of the man them started doing hip hop. It's not that like, yeah, I see one of the man them getting gal off the hip hop thing and now I want to try it a week later. It's not that. It's been something that's been going on for eons now, you know what I mean? So here I am, a part of the new underground hip hop renaissance, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. And also to kind of connect with the whole art world as well. Like when you think of, you know, the Sistine Chapel, you know, the music that was played around that time, you know, it was all like the wind and brass instruments, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where we are now as well with the hip hop.
While we're on the subject of like just the connections and everything, you know, the people that you know and all that, you've got a couple of well-respected and well-known cousins as well. The obvious one is Michael Parkinson.
Right.
Dope producer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And MC.
And MC.
Very dope
bro,
MC.
But you know what? The reason why I said producer is because he's obviously out there selling beats and stuff. And I want people to understand that this is a guy you need to go to. Like, not just for like features as an MC, because he's sick anyway. Like we had him on the show recently. Absolutely loved the set, man. Tore it up like only Parky could.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I focus on the production is because this is a guy that I feel deserves so much respect. And it's pretty underground at the moment. And, you know, they should be getting some big names coming in and paying him properly for what he's doing.
They will.
You know what I mean?
If it has
the
anything
day
to
has
do
to
with
come.
me. If it has anything to do with me, it will happen.
So for anybody out there who's looking for beats, dope beats, right? Go check Michael Parkinson, because the guy has got beats upon beats upon beats. And you know what? If I was still an artist, I would be paying him grands to basically be giving me beats.
He's another one that's not afraid of hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's always working hard.
And your other cousin, Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that till we spoke, bro.
Yeah, no, for real, man.
So why didn't you just produce for him and get rich?
Again, I didn't want the easy lane, man. I didn't want the easy way out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, my relationship with him is a very deep one, you know what I'm saying? It's a long one. We're not always in contact with each other and stuff like that, but for me, my thing is, as long as you're busy, you're making money, you're looking after yourself, I love it, man. Thank you for the inspiration. You know, that's all I ever need from people, just inspiration. I don't want anything else. I don't need it. I mean, just inspire me, man. And I'm deeply proud and happy for him. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to work hard for my own shit. You said it already, bruv. Like, I could have easily done that. He gave me that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He could, you know, at one point he was gonna make a beat or two for me as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's not Hooli, man. That's not my way. Like I'm not that guy that would take the easy way out of things like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, is there anything you want to promote?
Ben Kingsley out now. The album Ben Kingsley out now. Just Google search that if you have to. You know what I'm saying? It's a no-brainer how to spell it. Well, like Ben Kingsley out now. Check me out on Instagram. I've got like, 23 music videos. Go check them all out, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
When you got time, you know what I'm saying? When you got a minute or two. You know what I mean? Gourmet Deluxe as well. Check us out. Gourmet, correct spelling. Deluxe is spelt with a XXX at the end. You know what I mean? Check that out. We got some great merchandise as well to check out on there.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Believe in yourself, man. Fuck what anyone else thinks, man. Any doubters, You know what, yeah? You see when you get that phone call or someone bitching to you about something that you've done and you know it's a great move, that's when you know you're on the right path. Don't take it personal. It's on them. That's for them to worry about. But Hooli's the illest. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make history. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make man like Blade proud, man like Skinny Man proud. You know, anyone that fucks with me and my sound, you know what I'm saying, and my label, my movement, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Onwards and upwards, man. Bigger things.
All right, so you heard it right here. See, my personal belief is that if we want something to grow, then we need certain kinds of personalities in there. People who believe in themselves, people who have that, you know, what many would perceive as a negative attitude, arrogance or whatever. But before you go calling people out for being arrogant, negative or whatever, understand what's ticking inside there, because that's the thing that could make the difference. All right? So that's my belief. You don't have to go with it, but that's my belief. What I see when I speak to someone like Hooli is nothing but confidence. And I'm just waiting for that day when I can say, I told you so. Yeah, I'm waiting for that day, because that day's coming. It's going to come, and I believe it's going to come with a lot of artists, not just Hooli, you know, and we can make that change. So that's what I believe in. But yeah, to keep up to date with everything the Fly Hooligan is doing, first, you need to get your skates on, because my man ain't slowing down anytime soon. Go follow him on all of his connection pages via the links in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel, click on the bell to receive the notifications, help us spread the word, share our content, and get involved in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and bro, again, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate you, legend, man.
Wicked.
Thanks for having
Bro,
me, man.
Thank you.
Big salute.